Member for Delta South.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to speak to the life of an outstanding Surrey farmer, community member and agrologist, Mr. Jack Brown. When speaking of the Brown family, one must dial way back to 1877 when the Browns became one of the first families to settle as farmers in the East Delta and Colebrook areas of Surrey. The Brown family also purchased farmland on 168th Street in Surrey, where Jack grew up, and like many of us joined 4-H and after high school worked the family farm full-time. Besides being an avid supporter of agriculture, Jack also had a long tenure with the Cloverdale Volunteer Fire Department, where he was a firefighter and the chief for over 30 years. And Jack's involvement with the Cloverdale JCs helped him in the early years for him to develop the skills that helped him achieve multiple leadership roles in various organizations. As time went on, Jack began to take on the role of a leader in the farming community, serving on various committees, panels, associations, and boards. To name just a few, Jack sat on boards of committees such as the Canadian FEB of Agriculture, the Canadian Horticultural Council, the BC Coast Vegetable Marketing Co-op, the Ministers' Council on the Food Industry, the BC Cattlemen's Association, the BC Angus Association, the Surrey Dyking Commission, the BC Cranberry Marketing Commission, and the Cloverdale Senior Citizens Society. Known as a good listener and one who could see past his own direct interests for the good of all, Jack was a consensus builder and an approachable leader. Mr. Speaker, my earliest connection to Jack Brown was the complete dispersal auction of his farm equipment that my dad and I conducted in 1991 when Jack sold his farm to become the now famous Northview Golf Course. After selling the Cloverdale farm, Jack and Laurie bought the North Langley farm and began to raise purebred Red Angus cattle. Jack also worked for the Surrey Dyking Commission as manager for 5 years. His growing involvement with the cattle side of things also fed his lifelong love of the caribou. There were few things Jack liked better than a trip to the interior for a bull sale or just to visit. Many never realized how many hats Jack actually wore. He may be gone now, but he will always be remembered by farmers and ranchers for his legacy of connections, education, experience, and mentorship to all who knew Jack Brown. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.